There seems to be some concern among analysts and people within business, especially CEOs, that we haven't felt the real true impacts from the tariffs yet. That's because we're not receiving freight containers from China as much. So obviously, freight container workers aren't working as much. That means truckers aren't necessarily working as much. And maybe the stock market hasn't fully price that in yet. That seems to be a concern. Here's my opinion on the matter. The markets right now, including crypto, because I'm mostly focused on crypto, but even in stocks, seem to be pricing in just some short term instability, but they're pricing that we are going to get moved past that. There seems to be more and more optimism within the Trump administration that they're projecting to the mainstream media, saying that we are going to get through this and they're going to be willing to take their foot off the pedal a little bit and negotiate, especially with China. Let's see if that happens. My personal opinion on the matter is once these trade negotiations go through and we just start getting some major trade deals, we already have one on the books, India. They just need to sign it. Japan seems to be coming down the line as well. It seems like pretty much every country's playing ball except necessarily for China. But let's be real, China is the big player in the room. Whether we agree with how the tariffs are being handled or not, or even if it should have even have started, that's a completely other debate. I'm focused mainly on the markets and if they're going to go up or down. And I personally think they're going to continue to go up. And I'm going to show you another chart right now that's showing global M2 is continuing to go up and that Bitcoin is following it. And yeah, if we continue on this trajectory, looks like we definitely have bottom. So markets are pricing in that we are going on the upside, right? Crypto showing that. The stock market's showing that. We still have some analysts that are sitting on the sidelines. And here's the thing, in my humble opinion, those asset managers, we've already pumped quite a bit, and there's still some sitting on the sidelines. Once we start going higher, if that does happen, which I think probably will happen, I don't think the economic impacts are going to be as bad. But hypothetically, if they are that bad, here's the other scenario. We already see what happens when we have major economic impacts like supply shortages. We saw what happened 5 years ago during the start of the pandemic, right? What happens? Money printing, huge money printing, and massive liquidity enters the market. And then stocks and especially crypto rip even harder after like a short term dip. But I don't necessarily know that's going to happen, but I know what the end result's going to be because the Federal Reserve has already said that if something like that were to happen, they'd be willing to step in. But, anyways, let me show you this chart. Titan of crypto, and Cryptos R Us for posting this. This is a really interesting chart. It's showing global M2 rally, and you can see that Bitcoin is delayed a little bit, but it's following it pretty darn well, and it's going to bring us to the end of summer, late fall, according to this chart, if Bitcoin continues to go up, and we're going to see some massive increases and new highs very soon, even within crypto, most likely this summer. So based off this chart, does it mean that we're going to continue to go on the upside and only up and it's not going to be volatile? No, because crypto is a volatile asset. We could maybe see some maybe mini black swan events if something economically happens that nobody's foresaw. But you know what? I said a few weeks ago that we were in the bottoming zone. We definitely went a little bit lower, but then we shot back up like a week later. So is it possible that we could have bottomed? Yeah. Could we retest some of those bottoms? It's possible, but I think we were in the bottoming zone and we are headed out of the bottoming zone. Could we then go down a little bit more and then head back up again? Yeah, but I think most likely we are on a trajectory upwards because most of the charts are showing that Bitcoin and blue chip alts right now are holding really strong. Some even went up a little bit higher today. So yeah, I'm optimistic.